What we loved about the Chase One, or Suite One Chase Suite, was how it came in. It felt so cinematic from the very beginning, and we wanted something like that, some piece of music that would move you from the very beginning and kind of announce to you, "This is a motion picture. This is not just a piece of music. It's something that you just close your eyes and you see with your mind. It really takes you into some sort of Star Wars like universe." So with the Suite Two Overture, we really set out to do something special and cinematic. There were several pieces of music that were actually composed for that introductory opening chapter. Nate worked on several things that were really, really amazing. There was one piece that really sounded like almost something you'd hear in like Dark Knight. There was another piece that sounded like something on Lord of the Rings. There was a piece called Utopia that I really loved. There were probably about 4 or 5 different orchestral pieces that were composed before we actually arrived at the Suite 2 Overture. They were all amazing in their own right.
I'm a huge Disney fan. We all are. And so I was thinking about the idea of even having an overture, and we had been using the orchestra for a few songs already, and so we were excited to figure out how we could like do something even more majestic with it. And Roman had done Babak by Ya. At this point, he already arranged and written Babak by Ya, the music for that. And so I threw the idea out at him that I wanted to have some overtures, and I was trying to figure out how I was gonna write them, and I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be really hard to like put this all together."
When Nate and I first discussed even introducing the idea of an overture to the album, and we started playing with that idea, we certainly were excited about it, but we thought about it in the context of just an overture. So something that contained allusions to several songs in the album, and that would come at the beginning, and that would be that.
So I basically cut up maybe like 8 to 10 songs from the album, made snippets out of them, and said just the most melodic moments of the songs, and told him that we should try to put together an overture based around them.
You want to pick those moments that, that cause a physical reaction. So certainly things that like would give you chills, but also things that I don't know, man. I mean, there's certain lines in this album that make me just want to be in love, and I certainly want to incorporate those. I mean, there's just certain chord changes that happen that I just wanted to make sure that those were incorporated.
When Roman and John Arthur got involved, everything that had been done up until that time was kind of almost embodied in this piece of work that he came with, that had a certain kind of moodiness to it. It had danger. It had the chorus vocals that almost sound like something on Lord of the Rings, like when you deal with the orcs. And then at the same time, you had this beauty there with 57821 and all these other things that were happening. It turned out in a really beautiful fashion. And Nate was a champion of the idea from the very beginning that we really have an overture that sums up the whole entire piece.
I kind of took a path and veered away from having it just be one overture. So I rearranged some of the songs and pulled in other songs and let go of certain ones, and I came up with just 2 different overtures that can certainly be played back to back, but that now they're certainly their own entities.
He did a great job with them. They just soar and have so many different moments, and it really is something that when you go back and listen to them, you realize like, oh, that's all the different songs in the album, and so most of the songs in the album are actually contained in the overtures.
For me, the most captivating part comes the second time through, after you've experienced the entire whatever it is, whether or not it's a piano concerto or something like that, or the Arcandroid. The second time through is usually the most intriguing, because you start to understand where everything came from in the overture and what is it alluding to. And so I would say certainly my inspirations for this overture came from the pieces done by Nate.
With the arrangements that Roman was able to come with, we were able to arrive at something that really felt special and really, really magical. When you first walk in the door, you feel this is a magic place.